Welcome back, everybody. My voice is about shot, my fourth video tonight, and we're going to talk about segmented worms. Segmented worms are pretty cool. I see some of you already responded to our group discussion, and I haven't got to check out any of the videos yet. I hope to do that. Alright, with segmented worms, we look at all these different types from a regular old earthworm to the more unique and beautiful. Alright, types of segmented worms. Remember, pause as you need. Look at them as you need, go back as you need. We have marine worms, which means they're in water, generally seawater, but not always, some are in fresh. We have the Christmas tree worm. We have the bristle worm. Looks like a bristle brush. A bristle brush. Looks like we have Christmas tree set up there. Now these feathery things, they're called setae. Alright, some people say setae or setae, either one. They have a special job. They're used to catch food for these guys, and for some like the earthworm, they're used for movement. Alright, leeches are another type of segmented worm. They have medical uses, and we'll talk about that in a bit. Then we have plain old earthworms, which you and I might very well see on a day-to-day basis. Earthworm characteristics, we'll talk about them first. Now, they do have bilateral symmetry. If we cut them in half, the other half looks exactly like that. And that's mainly because of their different organs that they have that they call bilateral and not radial symmetry. They do have setae as well, or setae as well. Theirs are more strong, bristle-like or hook-like ones, and that's how they work to move. And if you've ever tried to pull a worm out of the ground, you know how hard it can be. Now, the bristle-like structures on the outside of the body are setae. They're used for movement in these guys and filter feeding with the bristle worm and the Christmas tree worm. Earthworm systems, there's a lot of them. This is from a top view. This is from a side view. Both have the mouth, and we can work our way through the digestive systems. First, we talk about digestion and excretion. Big deal. Food comes in one end, goes out the other. That wasn't always the case with the simpler organisms. You guys know that. Now, they have a mouth that takes in soil. The soil moves to the crop. Mouth to the crop, which is a sac-like organism used for storage. Organ, not organism. Soil from the crop moves to the gizzard, the next item down. We see the crop, we see the gizzard as well. That grinds the soil. The ground soil goes to the intestines. That's where the nutrients are absorbed. They have an intestinal tract much like our own. Nutrients circulate to the whole body in blood vessels, closed circulatory system, if you remember that from yesterday. Wastes are expelled from the anus, which are called castings. And these are what farmers and gardeners like because they bring new nutrients to the soil. Lots to go through right there, but that's from mouth to anus, their digestive system. Earthworm systems, we have more. Circulation. We told you already, closed circulatory system. And we have 5 hearts here to pump blood all that long way. And we have a ganglia, which kind of serves as a brain. There is a front and there is a back to an earthworm. Respiration. No gills or lungs. Neither. They breathe through their skin. That's why if you get rid of all the moisture on them, they die. Or you get too much water around them, they can't take in oxygen and they die. They must have the thin, watery mucus film to breathe. That helps to trap the oxygen so they can leach it out through their skin. Alright, these probably have had a little too much water, and that one, well, he's nice and shiny and ready to go. Alright. More earthworm systems. Their nerve response. They do feel pain. Sorry guys, the thing your parents told you when you're fishing, That's wrong. They do feel pain. All right. They have a ganglia, which is kind of like this. Then they have nerve responders going all the way down their back. They have a brain, the main nerve cord. Each segment has a nerve. And if you talk to evolutionists, this is proof that these guys, as they get more complex, they're leading into backbones and other things. They are a similar structure, but I don't know if one led to the other. All right, God created them separately. Reproduction. They are hermaphroditic. We are using that word again. That means they can produce eggs and sperm. That's the only reason we use that, because that is the technical term. They cannot fertilize themselves. They must have sexual reproduction, which helps them get into the animal category. They share sperm with one another. So, both of these worms can actually end up being pregnant and having offspring of their own. Their clitums here, they will go ahead and fertilize there. Those have to be aligned for that to happen. Leeches. Now we're going to talk about some other types. Leeches eat blood. That's what they do. Already nutrient-rich blood. They do have medical uses. They produce anesthetic, which numbs. Anesthetics are given to surgery patients before surgeries. So we've been able to take the item that they produce naturally and use it for what we need. We produce anticoagulants, they produce anticoagulants so the blood doesn't clot once they've got a wound cut open. Anticoagulants are also used after surgery to keep blood clots from happening. So we've taken a lot of things these leeches produce naturally, and we've created it for our uses, or we've developed it for our uses. All right. Sometimes leeches are used to keep blood flowing to amputated limbs, or once things are sewn back together, the leeches are put over those wounds to draw blood through there and try to get that circulation happening again. A comparison of segmented worms and mollusks. Body cavity for organs, body cavity for organs. A little more complex than what we've seen so far. One-way digestive system, one-way digestive system. We're getting more complex. They have some similarities. Common larvae to worm, common larvae to mollusk. They have a two-stage life. There's lots of similarities. You may want to be able to compare them. And that's the slide you've been waiting for. Bye, guys.